And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon QSO Vlog Network. This is a directed network, and I am net control. If at any time during this net should an emergency arise, please notify net control, and we'll stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time? And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our QSO Vlog network is all about, trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. FYI, my background is 50 years in commercial broadcasting, where a lot of big bucks are spent on audio processing equipment and getting it set up correctly to get the loudest, fullest sounding station possible. Well, long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency. A lot of stations were running with very poor mic equalization, very muddy, with little articulation. And as I continued to work stations, I realized most of the stations were also running very low average peak modulation. Many around 30% of average peak modulation. So with my background, I felt I could help. Or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to overcome most all of the problems. So it would be just a matter of developing a generic dynamic range setup procedure and then adjusting the onboard EQ gear. And so I started the QSO Vlog network with the phrase, if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. And today we're currently featuring over 1,750 QSO Vlog Aircheck recordings. Our mission statement for the network is to establish a higher technical level of radio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics in current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher degree of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also this afternoon on the receive side, we're running 4 Internet SDR receivers monitoring New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Virginia, trying to get the best signal possible from our 100-watt friends. Now the audio from these 4 SDR receivers comes up on a 6-position rotary selector. Also in this selector is our local receiver audio. And today our local receiver is running 2 large 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas, one aimed north and south, the other east and west. The north and south mag loop can be rotated. They are selected by a 3-position rotary selector. Position 3 of this selector is a cophase option that many times is 3 to 4 dB hotter than mag loop 1 or 2 by themselves. Also today, on the transmit side, we'll be running our no SWR specially oriented dipole antenna. One leg of this dipole is broadside to Montreal, Canada. The other leg is broadside to Miami, Florida. As we were constructing our station, our mantra was 20 over from Montreal to Miami with a hotspot through the Carolinas. And although conditions may vary, the general performance of this antenna supports its mission. Also today, we'll be running our input source indicator. So when we switch from an Internet SDR receiver to our local receiver, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube QSO Vlog video. And as we come together for another Friday afternoon QSO Vlog network, let us pause just a moment for the amateur radio operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for clear 20 over S9 communications today. Let all our transmissions fill the air and reach their destinations QSA 5 to be understood by all. And as we pray for good radio conditions, let us also pray for good human conditions. During this time of pandemic that has challenged us all, we pray that you will protect everyone, especially our elderly. And also, Lord, we seek your divine intervention to bring peace to a very divided United States. As we go through a very conflicting time in America's history, with dark clouds all around, we pray that you will reduce life's daily political QRM between our brothers and sisters. And through your love and guidance, show us the way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with one another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. To continue, since this is an area of the band where we have many nets trying to operate in a very confined area, I would appreciate all stations checking into our QSO-VLOG net to keep their band pass to no wider than 100 to 2900. Again, please, no wider than 100 to 2900. This is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network. And now let's check in and see if Charlie, K1GZL, is on frequency to bring us up to date on the latest 40-meter band propagation. Charlie's QTH is up north in northern New Hampshire, near the Canadian border. Charlie, got a copy?
Got a Canadian border. Charlie, got a copy?
Yes, Jim, I've got a beautiful copy on you there. Just great. No problem at all. By the way, outside it's just about 70 degrees. Had a low of 50 last night, and it's mostly sunny with some scattered clouds and very light winds. But it's good copy, absolutely good copy, Jim. I tried 40 meters this morning. Tried 40 meters early this morning, but maybe not early enough. And I heard nothing out of the South Pacific at the time I was listening. Nothing at all. KC9VKV, K1GZNL.
Roger, Charlie. Well, gosh, Mother Nature is very mysterious about her propagation. It's apparently it's a guarded secret, and we never really know what the propagation is until it was. I mean, it seems to work out that way anyway. So, Charlie, what do you have for us this Friday?
To work out that way anyway. So, Charlie, what do you have for us this Friday?
Well, I don't have an awful lot right now, but I just want to let you know how well you're coming in. Let me try this recording on you. Just a minute. Recorded a couple of minutes ago. Direct, without an SDR. Direct.
I'm getting it set up correctly to get the loudest, fullest sounding station possible. Long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency.
Okay, Jim, did that come through? Go ahead.
Yes, sir, Charlie. Came through fine and dandy. It did. And so, gosh, what did you say your current temperature was up that way?
What did you say your current temperature was up that way?
Just about 70 degrees. That's close to normal, maybe a couple, 3 degrees below normal, but close. It's very pleasant. We've had just the normal amount of rainfall for the season, about 3 2/3 inches this month, maybe a hair over for this date. However, in southern New Hampshire, my gosh, they've had over 8 inches, and some local spots well over 10 inches, 4 and 5 times above their normal. And previously, they had a terrible drought down there. We did not. And it ruined the blueberry crop absolutely completely in southern New Hampshire. They lost the blueberry crop, and then they got deluged down below, and we were missing most of the... Go ahead.
Roger, Charlie. I just was looking around. My local receiver is not got a good copy on you, and Rochester is in the mud for some reason, but Milford is hanging out. I didn't get down to Georgia or Arlington, but gosh, today I think better propagation than last Friday, Roger.
Sure. Today I think better propagation than last Friday, Roger.
Yeah, 90 watts last time, and 900 up here right now with the AL82 back in the circuit. Okay, Jim, real fine, and Hopefully we can get on next week. I've got a few little medical issues that I have to have addressed at this end of the line, and we'll see what happens. You were indicating you might want to try a different time slot. KC9VKV, K1G's.
Roger, Charlie. And just out of curiosity, what was your amp downfall last Friday?
What was your amp downfall last Friday?
What was the last Friday?
I'm sorry, what was the problem with your amp? Did it blow a fuse, or what was that?
What was the problem with your amp? Did it blow a fuse, or what was that?
We don't know what happened. That was the AL1500. I'm actually getting a little bit more RF out on 40 on the 8.2 than I was on the 1500. However, with the 1500, I was getting a little more output on 20 than I am with the 82. But what had happened, I just turned it on one day, and I had no voltage, high voltage indication whatsoever, nothing, and the grid current and everything else were at zero. There was just nothing. It wouldn't work, and I couldn't figure out what happened. So that ended up at Bob's place, KB1IZU, and he may have a chance to see what happened. It may not be anything. It may be a relay that I had blown, or it could be more serious. We don't know yet. However, this was and is my amplifier, and it was on loan over to Bob, KB1IZU's QTH, and he used it for a good solid 2 years with no problems. So I've got this back, and at the moment he has another linear which is working very well. He had picked up from an estate from a silent key. So things are working, and in a sort of a roundabout way. But, all we can do is hope we can continue to transmit, Jim. KC9VKV, K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie. Well, sounding great as always. So let me say 73 up that way. And we appreciate you dropping by as always. And we'll see you next Friday. Roger?
You dropping by as always, and we'll see you next Friday. Roger?
I think is very good. Very good. I don't know if you're picking me up through Arlington or Georgia, but right now you're coming in excellent. Although they skip into Rochester may be a little bit too close. You never know until you experiment, although their SDR might be acting up. Excuse my voice, it just kicked out a little. KC9VKV, K1GZL clear. Always a pleasure, Jim. Always, and keep up the great work you do.
Roger, Charlie. 73, sir. This is the Friday afternoon QSO Vlog Net. Just a reminder, my name is Jim, KC9VKV, and better known in some circles as Dr. VKV. And we are recording now live till 5, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. We'll record it and then post it up on YouTube in the next couple of days. So when you go to YouTube, just call it a search for KC9VKV, along with today's date, 7/23/21, and it will take you directly to this recording. If you just go to YouTube and do a call letter search only, KC9VKV, that will take you to our QSO Vlog page, and we're currently running about 1,750 recorded QSO Vlogs for your perusal. So right now, we're recording now live till 5, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Yeah, November Delta Zero, Mike.
There's a November 0 station, sir. Come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
And sir, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Yeah, that is November Delta Zero, Mike.
November Delta Zero, Mike, Roger. What's the name there?
November Delta Zero, Mike, Roger. What's the name there?
Name is Mark, Mike Alpha Romeo Kilo.
Roger, Mark, and what's your location, sir?
What's your location, sir?
Well, sir, I am, I'm having trouble with SWR right at the moment. Hang on here. I think it might be amp problems. I'm not positive about that. No, I just put a FTDX 3000 online here a couple of weeks back, and I wanted to make sure that it was getting out with the right kind of audio, and I just wanted you to check it out for me, sir.
Oh, Roger. I don't think I ever got your location, sir. What is your location?
Roger, I don't think I ever got your location, sir. What is your location?
Yes, sir. I'm in Southern Pines, North Carolina.
Alrighty, Mark. And what radio are you running at this point?
Alrighty, Mark. And what radio are you running at this point?
What's that? I'm sorry. What band? I'm on the 40 meter band.
Not the band, but the radio. What radio are you running, sir?
Not the band, but the radio. What radio are you running, sir?
Oh, sir. I'm running a FTDX 3000.
Alrighty, and if you would, why don't you give me about 10 seconds or so on your antenna situation so I can see your, take a look at your audio.
On your antenna situation so I can see your, take a look at your audio.
Yes, sir. I am running about 500 or so watts into an NSET half-width vertical to about 45 or so, 46 feet, and then horizontal there, generally oriented north to south.
Yes, sir, Mark. Well, I think we can help you a little bit there as far as maybe getting a little bit fatter signal. Our generic setup procedure starts with you engaging your compressor at a 3. It's a token amount. You'll never hear it on the air, but it does exactly what we needed to do as far as building up that fatter signal, Roger. So it'll be a compressor on at a 3.
Fatter signal, Roger. So it'll be a compressor on at a 3.
Okay, you say compressor on?
Yes, sir. Compressor on and at a 3.
Yes, sir. Compressor on and at a 3.
Okay, let's see how that works.
Yeah, we're only looking for a very minute bit of work from that compressor, just about a third of its capabilities. So if you have a 0 to 10 input level on the compressor, we're looking for 3. If it's a 0 to 100, we're looking for 30, just a third of the capabilities of the compressor. All right, so once we get the compressor engaged at a 3, on and at a 3, let's move to your ALC with mic gain in hand. And as you speak fairly rapidly, 100, 200, 300, so you can see what the ALC meter is doing, we want you to adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is running mid-scale to 2/3. Mid-scale to 2/3 on the ALC by way of mic gain manipulation.
Mid-scale to 2/3 on the ALC by way of mic gain manipulation.
Okay, let's see. Let me turn that mic gain. Okay. Right there, that sounds. Oh, we gotta go a little bit more. There we go. That's about 2/3 right there.
Yes, sir. Now, looks good. It looks about 3 dB, and that gives you about 80 to 85% of average peak modulation. Now, let's move to your EQ, if we could. And I want to go about 3 clicks plus boost, treble EQ. 3 clicks boost, treble EQ from where you are.
Treble EQ. 3 clicks boost, treble EQ from where you are.
Okay, there is the equalizer is turned on, and I've got to go through and find the menu setting for that one.
How many bands EQ is that radio, sir?
How many bands EQ is that radio, sir?
It is 160 through 6 meters.
Not frequency, I'm talking about the equalizer. Is it a 3-band, 4-band, 8-band, 16-band? How many EQ controls do you have for your equalization page?
How many EQ controls do you have for your equalization page?
Looks like there's 3.
Yes, sir. Okay, so we want to start with the mid-range flat. That mid EQ in the flat mode, Roger?
That mid EQ in the flat mode, Roger.
Roger that.
All right, then we want to go +3 EQ boost from wherever you were.
EQ boost from wherever you were.
Okay, let's see if this thing is, if I'm getting anywhere on it right now.
Okay, so you're sure your EQ is engaged, and you just moved your treble EQ 3 clicks boost from where it was, Roger? What was it anyway before?
Boost from where it was, Roger? What was it anyway before?
That was on a 0.
Okay, so you're +3 from where you were. Is that a Roger?
Okay, so you're +3 from where you were. Is that a Roger?
Roger that.
All right, tell me something in 10 seconds or 15 seconds about something you really like about your radio.
15 seconds about something you really like about your radio.
Well, I tell you what, I'm just getting to learn how to run this. It is just taking me some time, and I just want to make sure that I'm getting myself set where I'm getting the best audio out.
Roger. Now, on your EQ, is that 5 clicks max, or is it 10 clicks max? How much headroom do you have left on your treble EQ to go from where you are?
How much headroom do you have left on your treble EQ to go from where you are?
Yeah, I go to 10 max.
Yes, sir. Okay, then go 2 more, plus 5 clicks total. +5 from where you were at 0. So +5 treble boost now.
From where you were at 0. So +5 treble boost now.
Okay, how's that?
All righty, now tell me again something that that I don't know in 15 seconds or so.
That I don't know in 15 seconds or so.
Okay, sir. I will see how it goes. I should have had my glasses on. I could see these numbers a little bit better.
Well, yes, sir. You want to get your glasses? I understand how important they are. I don't go anywhere without mine. I try not to. I did yesterday. Boy, it just scared me to death when I realized I did not have my glasses with me. So, yes, by all means, if you know where they are, go grab them. That way we'll be sure what we're doing, Roger.
They are. Go grab them. That way we'll be sure what we're doing, Roger.
Well, that's okay right now. I can manage to get myself through this here for a little bit. Now, I've been working on, like I said, there's 3 equalizers, and I'm working on equalizer number 2. Well, that's the one I've been working on. What adjustments should be making to the other ones?
Okay, so you have a 3-band EQ. You have a bottom, a mid, and a top. And, the whole idea about an equalizer is a top range balanced to mid-range and bottom range balanced to mid-range. So you're always referring to the mid-range, and that's why you want to keep your mid-range flat, because if you boost your mid-range, it's so much harder for your top EQ to catch up, and also so much harder for your bottom end EQ to catch up. So ideally, that mid-range should be flat. Matter of fact, in so many cases that's true, that now manufacturers are starting to say, hey, if we're always referencing a fixed mid-range flat, then why even put the mid-range EQ in there? So your 7300, your 7610 only have a 2-band EQ, top and bottom, with a fixed mid-range EQ that you can't access or can't get to. So now, if we have that mid-range flat, and again, I'd like to hear you just a little bit more where we are, Roger.
And I'd like to hear you just a little bit more where we are, Roger.
Okay, Roger that. Yep, I've been working on the second equalizer. It has it set right at the middle of the middle of the numbers. Right now it's on a 5, and the bandwidth itself is set for a 4.
Out of how many, let's say parametric, is that a Roger?
Out of how many, let's say parametrics, is that a Roger?
What you're saying is that you have an adjustable range within that treble EQ. Is that a Roger?
A range within that treble EQ. Is that a Roger?
That is a Roger.
All right. I think Well, let's go on up there. Let's go 2 more clicks, boost treble EQ. I'm not hearing quite the articulation on the top end of your audio that I would like to hear. So 2 more clicks, boost treble EQ, and let me just hear that, Roger.
Clicks, boost treble EQ, and let me just hear that, Roger.
Okay, how about that? That turned it up about 2 more clicks, but then all the bandwidth set at about 5, so it should be right in the middle of it.
Roger. So you then now you should be like a 7 out of 10 boost treble EQ. Is that a Roger?
Be like a 7 out of 10 boost treble EQ. Is that a Roger?
That is a Roger.
All righty. And your bass is flat. Is that a Roger?
All righty. And your bass is flat. Is that a Roger?
Mark, I didn't hear you. Maybe conditions are changing. Your bass is flat. Is that a Roger?
Maybe conditions are changing. Your bass is flat. Is that a Roger?
WR here kind of it kicks the amp out for whatever reason, and it shouldn't, but it does.
I think we doubled a little bit there, Mark. You were talking about your bottom end EQ. I'm assuming that's flat. Is that a Roger?
About your bottom end EQ. I'm assuming that's flat. Is that a Roger?
That is correct.
Yes, sir. And I think we'll just keep it right there. I think you're a lot more articulated, and I think you're much fuller audio. So we'll call it quits for right now. And if you want to hear your recording, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor, along with today's date, 7/23/21, that will take you directly to this recording. Roger?
321, that will take you directly to this recording. Roger?
Roger that. Appreciate it, Jim. Thanks for your time, and we'll keep going at it. I'll check back in and see how things. I got to get a little bit better understanding of my menus here too on this radio. I'm relatively new to it, so I'll do that, and that probably would help a little bit also. Jim, thank you very much. KC9VKV, November Delta 0, Mike 73, sir.
Roger, 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. This is KC9VKV of the Friday afternoon QSOV-LikeNet. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
QSOV-LikeNet. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
It was a kilowatt something station back in there. I only have you about a dB or 2 dB above my noise, above the Milford PA SDR noise level, but try again, sir.
PA SDR noise level. Try again, sir.
Kilowatt Delta 2, Japan, Quebec, kilowatt. Kilowatt Delta 2, Japan, Quebec, kilowatt.
Something Japan kilowatt. I don't have that good a copy on you, sir. I don't think we're going to be able to make it. Like I say, you are right there, right at my noise level. You're just tad above it. But maybe if my conditions come up to you later on, try her again. Maybe, Mother Nature will grace us with some better propagation at a little bit further on down the line. And so if my signal comes up to you, hopefully your signal will come up to me, and we will be able to work each other. Right now, though, like I say, you are right at my noise level. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSOV-LikeNet. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
QSOV-LikeNet. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
November 9, Charlie,
Kilo America 9 Mike Echo Hotel.
November 8 X-ray.
You got Kilo America something Mike Hotel. Is that a Roger?
America something Mike Hotel. Is that a Roger?
Kilowatt Alpha 9 Mike Echo Hotel. Kilo Alpha 9 Mike Echo Hotel, Indiana. Just trying out this 530. Been having a little bit of problem with it there. How's the sound? Over.
Roger, you might be on your compressor just a little too much. Your breathing is pretty strong. What we suggest is that you get your compressor in line, but only at a 3. Inline that compressor, but only at a 3, Roger?
Inline that compressor, but only at a 3, Roger?
Well, it's a Kenwood TS530 Sugar. It's an oldie. She runs 2 tubes and a driver tube, and I don't know, I've just been having a little bit of trouble with it there. Okay there, maybe you're not able to understand. I know I was having a lot of RF in this thing a while ago, so I don't know what's going on. But anyway, thanks for being there. K9MEH.
Yeah, Roger there, MEH, what's the name? What's your name, sir?
Roger there, MEH, what's the name? What's your name, sir?
Name here is Farm Victor Echo Radio November, QTH Huntingburg, Indiana.
I'm sorry, repeat that. I lost that, both of those, your name and location, slowly.
I lost that, both of those, your name and location, slowly.
Yeah, just about lost you. You faded down the noise level.
Roger, still trying to get your name and location. Still looking for the name and location, sir.
Location. Still looking for the name and location, sir.
MEH, this is KC9VKV. Do you copy?
MEH, this is KC9VKV. Do you copy?
Negative contact on King Adam 9, Mary Echo, Henry. Conditions kind of faded out there, sir. But anyway, it sounded good. I did not detect any RF in the AF. It sounded very clean. Your audio level seemed to be good, and your dynamic range was about 3 dB. So I think you're doing all right there for that older radio, Roger. If you got a copy.
I think you're doing all right there for that older radio, Roger. If you got a copy.
I think we might have doubled. I would like to get your name there, MEH. What is the name and location again, slowly?
There, MEH. What is the name and location again, slowly?
I have been stolen by gypsies as far as MEH is concerned. So 73, sir. Have a good afternoon. Thanks for dropping by, and have a good afternoon. Beautiful weekend. This is the QSO Net for Friday afternoon. We go live till 5, recording all the way. And so if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
And so if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Zulu Golf, India.
The Zulu Golf India station, come back slowly phonetically with the call sign.
The Zulu Golf India station, come back slowly phonetically with the call sign.
Roger, this is Whiskey 4, Zulu Golf, India. The name is Mike, and I'm in northeast Alabama, over.
Roger, Mike in Alabama. And what radio are you running, sir?
Roger, Mike in Alabama. And what radio are you running, sir?
I am running a Ten-Tech Jupiter with a Collins 30L1 behind it, over.
Roger. Okay, Mike, why don't you give me about 10 seconds on your antenna system and let me hear your audio.
Give me about 10 seconds on your antenna system and let me hear your audio.
Okay, very good. My antenna system, AM dipole, up about 50 feet. Kind of in an up about 50. Kind of in an inverted V arrangement. And this is the newer Ten-Tech Jupiter. It's the black cabinet with the blue screen, which is just a newer version. And I've got my speech processor set at 20%, over.
Roger, maybe about another 10% on that compressor. We want about a 3 out of 10, a 3 if it's 0 to 10, a 3, and if it's 0 to 100, 30. So just about a third of it rather than 20, Roger. But you know, your ballpark, but just a skosh more.
Ballpark, but just a skosh more.
Okay, there. I've got it up to 30% right now. Did that make any difference, over?
Well, it's a starting point. Now we'd like to go to your AOC, with the mic gain in hand. And as you speak fairly rapidly, 100, 200, 300, so you can see what your ALC meter is doing. We want you to adjust the the level of the ALC to where it reads mid-scale to 2/3. Mid-scale to 2/3 on your ALC meter by way of mic gain manipulation.
Scale to 2/3 on your ALC meter by way of mic gain manipulation.
Yeah, Roger. Unfortunately, this radio does not have an ALC meter. It's got a little ALC light that blinks on voice peaks, and it's blinking pretty steadily right now. It's not saying lit all the time, but it is blinking on and off, so I know I've got at least enough mic gain, but I've got the mic gain cut way back on this because I think I have quite a bit of mic gain with the microphone element itself. Over.
Roger. Well, the actual mic gain is not important. It's how the mic gain affects your ALC. So where you have it set now, or did have it set, it looks good to me. We're running about 3 dB dynamic range, which is where you want to be. So I would say you've got that mic set right on target, Roger.
You've got that mic set right on target, Roger.
Very good. I appreciate your help very much. There's not an awful lot of things you can do. I think there's a transmit bandwidth. I think I've got it set as normal. But I surely appreciate your help, and I know the band conditions are horrible this afternoon, and it's a tough time. So I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Just went down to Arlington SDR. I've got a much better copy on you there. And it's weird because you're in Alabama. I don't know why Arlington would be much better than Milford. But anyway, I do have a better copy on you. So if you would like to give me 10, 15 seconds about something you really like about your radio, we can get a little bit better recording. Roger?
About your radio, we can get a little bit better recording. Roger? Hi, Roger. Very good. I will. I'm kind of a 10-tech person to start with, but I've had several Jupiters, and I think they have a wonderful receiver, an ICOM 7600 that I like a lot. But the old Jupiters are pretty good old radios. They don't have a lot of the newer bells and whistles, but they've got an awful lot of good stuff in them anyway. So how was that? Over.
Yes, sir. I finally went to my local antenna, and I got pretty good copy on you there. I usually have a lot better frequency response from my local radio than the SDRs. SDRs tend to roll off at about 250 cycles or so. So my local receiver is good down to 100. I was going to ask you, does that radio happen to have EQ on it or no?
No, it really does not have EQ. No, it does not.
All right, I would suggest that you back off the mic about 2 inches from where you're working it now. See if we can get a little bit more top end versus bottom end. You know, the proximity effect as you approach the closeness to a microphone, you have a bass buildup. So I want to hear you about 2 inches further back off that mic than where you have been working it. Roger?
Roger, very good. That's where I'm at now. I went back about 2 or 3 inches, and it's still, my ALC isn't quite blinking as steadily as it was, but it's still up there and good. Did that change anything? Over?
I'm starting to hear just a little bit of room noise, so let's compromise. About halfway between, we're nitpicking here, but about halfway between where you were just now and where you were earlier. About half that distance, Roger?
Roger, very good. That's where I'm at right now, about halfway, and I hope that's, it's a pretty sensitive microphone. Over.
Yes, sir. So your ALC is running still mid-scale to 2/3, Roger?
Well, it's blinking. The light is blinking. I wish I had a meter that would read the percentage of ALC, but it does not do that on this radio.
Roger. Well, it's reading the right place. It's reflecting a message at the correct place. So just so that's fairly flashing regularly. You'll be in good shape audio-wise at 3dB. Roger.
Roger, very good. I sure appreciate your help a lot, and I know the band is not very good today. Over.
Well, it's better than it was last Friday. We had, did not have good conditions at all last Friday, so we're thankful that Mother Nature has decided to bestow a little better propagation this Friday. Roger?
Roger. Well, you have a good day, and we appreciate it very much. Thank you. W4ZGI, Mike.
Roger, Mike 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. And if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, along with today's date, 7/23/21, that will take you to this recording and give us a couple of days to get it uploaded.
Roger. Thank you much.
Roger, Mike 73, sir. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO VLogNet. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Check out, give me a shout.
Kilo Golf 5, Sierra Tango Papa.
Alpha Charlie 3, Golf.
Alpha Charlie 3, Golf. Try that. Let's see. Let me write that down. Alpha. Give me your call sign again, please, sir.
Yeah, let me write that down. Alpha. Give me your call sign again, please, sir.
That's Alpha Golf 3 station. Try it again on your call sign.
That's Alpha Golf 3 station. Try it again on your call sign.
Alpha Charlie 3, Golf.
That's what it was. Alpha Charlie 3, Golf. Roger, what's the name there, sir?
That's what it was. Alpha Charlie 3, Golf. Roger, what's the name there, sir?
That's Steve in McMurray, Pennsylvania. That's Western PA.
Yes, sir. Steve, and what radio are you running, sir?
Yes, sir. Steve, and what radio are you running, sir?
Running an ICOM 7300.
Alrighty, Steve, and if you would, why don't you give me about 10 or 15 seconds and tell me about your antenna system.
Why don't you give me about 10 or 15 seconds and tell me about your antenna system.
Roger that.
This is KC9VKV, Steve. Why don't you tell me about your antenna system, sir?
KC9VKV, Steve. Why don't you tell me about your antenna system, sir?
Yes, sir. It's the antennas.com multi-band as I'm running 100 watts in a wire.
Alrighty. So on that 7300, we suggest you, if you're interested in our setup procedure, we suggest you start with a 3 on your compressor, and compressor engaged, and add a 3. Roger.
Compressor. And compressor engaged and add a 3. Roger.
Roger that, checking.
Roger there, Steve. So I'm assuming now we have your compressor engaged and add a 3. Is that a Roger? Sorry, Steve. I just lost my Milford SDR, and bringing it back up now as we speak. Yeah, he's all right now. Steve, do you have a copy, sir?
Steve, do you have a copy, sir?
This is KC9VKV, Alpha Charlie 3, Georgia, do you copy?
Georgia, do you copy?
You are just breaking just about 3 over. It's band conditions are up and down.
Yes, sir, Roger. So I'm assuming now that you have your compressor engaged and at a 3. Is that a Roger?
And at a 3. Is that a Roger?
This is KC9VKV, Friday afternoon QSO Vlog Network. Steve, do you have a copy?
Vlog Network. Steve, do you have a copy?
Just barely. They brought it up a little bit, that last transmission. You are now about 9 over.
Roger. Okay, so if you can copy me, I need to know if you've got your compressor engaged at a 3. That 7300 compressor on and at a 3. Roger.
300 compressor on and at a 3. Roger.
Answer for Alpha Charlie 3 Golf Golf. It's very intermittent. I'm going to sign off. I'm not receiving, and I will check the pressure and try again at another time, sir. Thank you for the contact. Alpha Charlie 3 Golf Golf 73.
Roger, Steve, 73, sir. This is KC9VKV. We're not, we're fighting propagation somewhat at the moment, but if you've got a copy on me, maybe I've got a copy on you. This is the Friday afternoon QSO Vlog Net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
I heard about 2 stations back in there, went around the horn on my SDRs, didn't have a real good copy, but try it one more time. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO Vlog Net.
9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO Vlog Net.
Whiskey 4, Fox X-ray.
There's a Fox X-ray station. Come back slowly with your call sign.
Fox X-ray station. Come back slowly with your call sign.
Yes, Whiskey 4, Fox X-ray, W4 FFX.
Roger, FFX, and what's the name there?
Roger, FFX, and what's the name there?
Yeah, the name here is Scott. Sierra, Charlie, Oscar, Tango, Scott.
Roger, Scott, and where are you located, sir?
Roger, Scott, and where are you located, sir?
We are just outside of Raleigh, North Carolina. We're actually Mobile, and I was trying to see if I could get a report of how this radio is sounding. I just put this radio in here today. It's an ICOM IC718, and I was just trying to get a feel for how the audio was on it.
You say that's a 718, is that a Roger?
You say that's a 718, is that a Roger?
Yes, sir. ICOM IC718, and I'm using a ICOM hand mic modified by AD5N is the hand mic.
Roger. Well, it looks like you're running 3dB. I'm just dynamic range, so it looks pretty good, and your EQ is fairly sharp for intelligibility. So I think you got it going on there right out of the box, Roger.
So I think you got it going on there right out of the box, Roger.
Well, I appreciate that there. We're running the mic gain about 50% and no compression. This microphone has plenty of gain and seems to push the ALC about 2/3 of the way up, which is where I want it there. So I appreciate the radio report.
Yes, sir. You're right on target there. 2/3 is exactly where you need to be. So, Eureka! You got it going on, sir. 73, sir, and have a great afternoon.
You got it going on, sir. 73, sir, and have a great afternoon.
73, appreciate the report. 4SFX Mobile.
Oh, you're a Mobile?
Oh, you're a Mobile?
Yes, I am Mobile. Yes, Mobile.
Excellent. You need to mention that more often, buddy. That radio is definitely doing a great job for Mobile. Roger.
Definitely doing a great job for Mobile. Roger.
Yeah, appreciate that. Sure do. Yeah, we got a pretty good answer here, and we're running radio.
Roger, Scott. Okay, 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. And this is KC9VKV with a Friday afternoon QSO Vlog Network. We're recording now live till 5. So if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
5. So if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Track 03, Papa, Charlie, Papa.
Papa Charlie, Papa, what's going on up that way?
Papa Charlie, Papa, what's going on up that way?
Yeah, good afternoon, Jim. It's Rob here in Verhuron, Tiverton, Ontario, just north of Kincardine, and operating my remote station again today. I've done some work on it and found the equalizer on Windows 10 and did some adjustments. So just want to see how it's sounding and see if it's working okay. KC9VKV, V350P.
Yes, sir, Rob. I can hear some syllabic noise in there. Before it was just there was no top end for articulation at all, and now gosh, I can hear a little bit back in there, enough to say you've been working on it.
Enough to say you've been working on it.
Yeah, okay. Well, the equalizer has a setting that you can use to enhance audio frequencies, so I took that as a start, and then I added some more top end, so I'm hoping to get a little bit more sparkle back in my voice. I'm not running the amplifier today, I'm just running the rig out there with QSL.
Roger. Now things probably will get interesting when you start adding power to it. Reminds me of I was using a phone patch, and I spent about 2 or 3 days working on this phone patch to get it just perfect. And so then I turned on the amp, and all of a sudden, there was so much AF in the RF, it was pathetic. And talk about feeling dejected. It was terrible.
Talk about feeling dejected. It was terrible.
I do have the amplifier warmed up here. What I found, though, is it tends to get a little bit harsh. I think I'm running it a little bit high on my audio levels here on the rig. So it's because there's a bit of a delay between what I'm speaking and what I'm seeing on the ALC meter on the radio. You can't really. It's just a little odd to watch it. That's all. But anyway, the ALC seems to be okay. So next go around, I'll turn the amplifier on. I won't make any adjustments to the radio, but I think you'll find the amp's going to be a little bit overdriven. QSL.
Roger. Now your dynamic range is right at 3 dB now, so I think you have perfect audio level at the moment, so we'll keep our fingers crossed as you turn on the amp this time.
Fingers crossed as you turn on the amp this time.
Okay, very good. The amplifier is on, so hopefully not seeing too much harshness there, but it loads a little differently than the antenna, but the auto tuner in the rig is kind of a bit automated on its own without it to press the auto tune button, but it has presets in it that it sort of recognizes. So anyway, so turn it back to you. That's with the amplifier on, putting out maybe turn on KC9VKV 350.
Roger, Rob. It does sound just a little bit chopped up there, just a little rough, kind of like AC ripple. Not really that you could hear the hum, but there was that kind of distortion. So definitely you're getting AF in your or RF in your AF, Roger.
AF in your RF in your AF, Roger.
Yeah, QSL. I've had extra levels of shielding and so forth on the audio cables, and that seemed to. I listened to it on my another receiver here locally on a dummy load, and it sounded clean without the amplifier. But I did notice some harshness when I kicked the amplifier on. But that's okay. I don't need to use the amplifier. I'm running 5 bands on it with a 5-band vertical, and running it remotely. It's an old amplifier. I can't tune it, so I just had it set up. So I have the rig and the amplifier both set up on Wi-Fi enabled receptacles, so I can power them on and off independently. So I don't normally bother using the amplifier only on 40 meters. That's what it's set up for. So I don't even need to use it, to be quite honest. Otherwise it seems to work okay. No, I'm not using any processor, and sounds like I really don't need to at this point in time. KC9VKV, V3PCP.
Roger, Rob. Well, you know, I don't know if you might be familiar with like the old CB standing wave bridge, you know, that had a field strength meter built into it. Well, you can use that field strength meter, you know, even on up to 40 meters. I use one quite often when I'm looking to track down RF hotspots. They work great. So if you're wondering where the RF is coming, you know, my thought was, you know, when I was experiencing problems with RF and the AF, I said, gosh, if I could just see the RF, I would know how to get rid of it. You know, if you can see it, if you can figure out where it is, then you can figure out how to get rid of it, you know. So then I started thinking about this field strength meter and wondering if it would work at 40 meters, and bigger than heck, it worked just beautiful, you know. So I just put that meter sensitivity at about mid-scale, and then use that antenna that you plug in for field strength to about maybe a foot or so, or maybe less, maybe 6 inches, somewhere between there, whatever it took, you know. And I just started sniffing around, looking for hotspots, RF hotspots, and mine was coming in on my antenna rotor cables for UHF and VHF. I have a cable run, so to speak, with the RF cables and just everything in the same run. And these remote antenna rotator cables are not shielded, and they were right in there with the other stuff, and consequently they were picking up quite a bit of induced RF into those leads. And I, you know, temporarily had to disconnect my rotors and take those leads away, and all my problems disappeared. So what I'm saying is a field strength meter will let you see the RF hotspots, Roger.
The field strength meter will let you see the RF hotspots, Roger.
Yeah, Chris, all very good. Yeah, I'll have to take a look at that. I think I do have one in a box somewhere, so I'll have to take a look and see if I can find it. And the ground mount vertical that I'm using is actually basically 80 feet from the house, and the feed line actually runs along probably 20 feet before it goes up and runs along the underside of the eave of a shed, and then between a couple trees, and then over to the house and in through a couple of window openings. So I also have a coax in my 80-meter folded dipole that runs along with it in the same hangar. So I don't know that it's coming in through that, but you never know. And I don't have a choke at the feed point. When you're running 5 bands, it's pretty difficult to get a coax to work properly on all those 5 bands. You almost need like 3 or 4 chokes. And I guess I could add some ferrite chokes as well. It might, if there's any RF coming back on the feed line, that might help. But anyway, it's a process, and sometimes a project is something you kind of work out a little bit at a time. We have a club here, and it's club station, and in Canada, generally speaking, you have to have an advanced certificate to operate a remote station, so that kind of limits it to a smaller group of people. But anyway, so it's something that we've been working on. So anyway, it seems to be working okay. I know the audio is different when I'm using my cell phone, and than it is when I'm sitting in the shack right now with a headset on. So I think the audio profile is probably better here, but I'm running the equalizer on the Windows computer. It actually will also impact whatever other device that I'm accessing the remote with, whether it's my cell phone or another computer or what have you. So it actually escapes the audio from the control computer station into the Anyway, Jim, I won't tie you up any longer. I appreciate it. I'll listen to this when you post it to YouTube. Appreciate very much what you do, and thanks for being there every week. 7-3 for now, and have a great weekend. KC9VKV 3PCP.
Roger, Roger, Rob. Last of that transmission, you were 5 dB over the Milford SDR noise level, so it's pretty good signal there. And like I say, yeah, use that field strength meter and isolate those hot spots and try to figure out how it's coming in, and see if you can reduce the RF, around your transceiver. That's the main thing, and try to get that RF lowered down so you have a little more grace before the problem. And the other test is that if you have 10 dB additional gain over where you normally operate, the final test would be to be able to turn that 10 dB on up, and if you still are clean, you absolutely have no problem. But that's the test, to do plus 10 over your normal operating level, and not have RF in the AF. That means that you really are well above marginal. So 73 Rob, thanks for checking in, buddy. And if you want to hear your audio, as always, go to YouTube and do a call letter search, KC9VKV, followed by today's date, 7/23/21, take you right to this recording. 73 Rob.
7/23/21, take you right to this recording. 73 Rob.
Okay, Jim, you're good. Yeah, thanks very much. And the first part of that last over, you were about 10 over 9, and then you dropped down to about an S6, so lots of QSB on the banding. 73, and we'll talk to you again. KC9VKV, V3PCP is clear.
Roger, Roger, 73. This is the Friday afternoon QSO Vlog Net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
I'm rolling through my SDRs now. We have SDRs in Virginia, Pennsylvania, New York, and Georgia. And we're looking for your signal. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Looking for your signal. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. What's the call sign?
I'm sorry, KC9VKV, yours, sir?
I'm sorry, KC9VKV, yours, sir?
Whiskey 4 Alpha United Victor, W4AUV, and we're located in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Roger, Roger. And what's the name there, sir?
Roger, Roger. And what's the name there, sir?
Dale, Delta Alpha Lima Echo. You're peaking around an S9 here in Raleigh. Go ahead.
Roger, don't jinx us. We'll be down to a 2. What radio are you running, sir?
Jinx us. We'll be down to a 2. What radio are you running, sir?
I'm running a Kencom wood transceiver, a 590SG, at 100 watts to a large wire array of about 65 feet at the center, fed with some 4-inch homebrew open wire line. Over.
Roger that. Why don't you give me about 15 seconds on the thing you like best about your radio, sir?
About 15 seconds on the thing you like best about your radio, sir.
It's ease of use and CW performance. I'm primarily a CW operator, and the 590S's and the SGs are excellent CW radios. Go ahead.
Roger, okay, looking at your audio, you do have about a 3 dB dynamic range at the moment, which is ideal, which means your average percent of peak modulation is between 80 and 85%. So however you have it set up is just perfect. Now, your audio contour is pretty mid-rangey, but again, good intelligibility. You might crank in a little bit more on the lower side and a little bit more on the top side to kind of broaden your contour, your curve a little bit, but you're fine, where you are as far as intelligibility, Roger.
You're fine, where you are as far as intelligibility, Roger.
I have the low end set to cut off at 200 hertz because I don't want to waste all my transmitted energy power when I'm on sideband on the low end, which provides no communications. Go ahead.
That's true. That's true. Usually, folks will roll at 250 or so, but it just depends on what you're doing. I don't like to get too far down in the bottom end because if Mother Nature does phase cancellation down the road and you lose the top end, then you really do sound muddy, Roger.
And you lose the top end, then you really do sound muddy, Roger.
Right. Yeah, this is 200, 200. This is cutting off at 100, 100. And this is all the way down to 10. Probably this microphone won't respond that low. W4AUV.
Roger. In your overall radio, you're running 100 to 2900, Roger?
Your overall radio, you're running 100 to 2900, Roger?
200 to 2900 right now. I set it back up to 2.
Oh, you have a variable. Usually, if you start rolling off the bottom, you're rolling off the top. So you have a 100 to 2900 and a 200 to 2900.
You have a 100 to 2900 and a 200 to 2900.
You can with the 590. You can set the high end and low end independently. So here you go. Now I've cut the high end off at 2600, so that should have made it a lot more mid-rangey. Over.
Well, actually, I think I don't know why, but it sounded like you had better top end that last transmission. Of course, again, another critical thing is that the way you address the microphone, the consistency of your approach to the microphone makes a difference. I mean, you can, turn your head and lose top end, just like that.
I mean, you can, turn your head and lose top end, just like that.
Oh, okay, I'm not really that worried about it. Primarily, I use these radios for high-speed Morse code operation, and I get on sideband only for casual use, and I don't worry about audiophile quality on sideband, because sideband is sideband. W4AUV.
Roger, I would leave it just like that myself. Sounds really good. And if you'd like to hear your radio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by today's date, 7/23/21, it will take you directly to this recording and give us a couple of days to get it uploaded.
To this recording and give us a couple of days to get it uploaded.
All right, very good, sir. No problem. All right, we have, what do we have here? We have another hot day today, but not as it's been, probably upper 80s and mid-90s, with sunshine and kind of hazy-ish from all the fires out west, and occasionally we can smell smoke from them. Go ahead.
Roger, will you guys in North Carolina always get all the good weather?
Roger, will you guys in North Carolina always get all the good weather?
I like it here. I moved down here in 1992 from Chicago, and I haven't looked back since. KC9VKV, W4AUV.
Roger. Well, as a young man, I spent a little time in North Carolina in radio in Fayetteville, and then again in Fort Bragg at a couple of commercial stations there for between 67 and 70, Roger.
67 and 70, Roger.
Okay, well, very good. Good. Well, we'll let you go, and I'm going to go see what the XYL has going on for dinner. It's getting about that time. So, have fun. I don't know, it doesn't sound like the band's too active this afternoon. I don't know if that's conditions or my antenna. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see you later. KC9VKV, W4AUV, broadcasting from Raleigh, North Carolina.
Roger, Dale. 73, sir. Good to hear you, and great audio. Keep it right there. Get the Gorilla Tape out and tape her down, sir. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO VLogNet. From now until 5, from 3:30 till 5, we record live. So if you have our radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Record live, so if you have our radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
I think there was a Delta November station way back in there towards the Milford SDR noise level, but try it one more time.
The Milford SDR noise level, but try it one more time.
Yeah, I think that was an Alpha 4, but I tell you, man, conditions are just too rough at the moment. I'm only copying you on the Milford PASDR, and then only about a dB above their noise level. So can't quite pull you out and work it right at the moment, but in the next 15 minutes or so, if my signal comes up to you, give me a shout. Hopefully your signal will have come up to me. This is the Friday afternoon QSO VLogNet. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
VLogNet. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
The Kilo Delta 4 India Zulu.
Kilo Delta 4 India Zulu. This is KC9VKV. What's the name there?
The name is Jeff. Listed as but I've been fooling around here and things pretty much locked down for a while. Go ahead.
Roger, Jeff. My propagation's coming and going. I'm copying you on my local antenna, but it is up and down. So make sure you're up on that microphone there. And I think the name was Jeff. Is that a Roger?
Negative. The name is Jack. Juliet Alpha Charlie Kilo. Over.
Roger, Jack. And what's your location, sir?
I'm in Parkton, Maryland. So I'm too close to the Milford, PA, SDR. Band's a little bit squirrely today, over.
Yes, well, what's new? And what radio are you running there, Jack?
IC 7300. You've helped me out before in the long dark distance cast, but I've been fooling around with a mixer and microphones to blend things a little bit and smooth it out. I don't mind using the pork chop mic, it's just inconvenient, over.
Yeah, Roger. Well, we might check a couple of things to see if we can get your fatness more consistent. It would be your compressor engaged at a 3. A token amount, but it does what we need it to do. So compressor on and add a 3. Roger?
That's a Roger. That's where it is.
All right. Then to your ALC with mic gain in hand. And as you speak fairly rapidly, 100, 200, 300, adjust your ALC to where it's running mid-scale to 2/3 by way of mic gain manipulation.
Okay, hang on. I got to go to full meter here. Okay, let's see. I should be seeing something here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm just below full scale.
Yeah, well, mid-scale to 2/3 is where you want to be. Actually, the sweet spot is midway between mid-scale and 2/3, but you just can't hover there. So we just say mid-scale to 2/3 bounce. Roger?
Yeah, Roger. So just above the red line or just below?
You want to stay out of the red. That would be the end. So you want to go mid-scale to 2/3. Roger?
Roger, and that's exactly where I am. Over.
Yes, sir. Roger, Roger. Now, that EQ could stand a little treble boost. Do you know how to get to your EQ on that radio?
Yeah, absolutely. Be there in a moment.
This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, the Friday afternoon QSO VLogNet. And right now we're talking to Jack in Maryland.
Okay, very good. I just bumped it up 2 notches. It was at a 1. It's now at a 3, a +3.
I think you got it, sir. That adds the necessary articulation to your audio. So now you have a nice full audio with a nice little intelligibility to it. Roger?
Roger, exactly what I needed. I knew you'd have the finishing touch there pretty much.
Roger, I wish we had a little bit better propagation, sir, so we'd have a better recording. But, you know, we have to deal with Mother Nature as cantankerous as she can become. So anyway, if you want to hear your audio, go to YouTube, do a call in a search, KC9VKV, along with today's date, 7/23/21, and that will take you to this recording and give us a couple of days to get it uploaded.
Okay, very good. And yeah, I just brought the audio scope back up, so that does look a little better at the high end. It was a little humpy. It's still probably a touch more bass than I would want to get for DX, but certainly for QSOs, it's perfect. So thank you very much. Always good to talk to you. It's been a while. Kitty for
Roger. And you want to make sure you're operating that radio in the 100 to 2900 bandpass, Roger?
Yeah, that's exactly where it is.
Great. 73 there, sir. You have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. We had about 13 minutes left on the Friday afternoon QSO VLogNet. So if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Check out, give me a shout. What?
I heard about 3 stations back in there. The loudest one, try again.
Back in there, the loudest one, try again. Radio, the Alpha Victor. What net is it?
This is the Kilo, say KC9VK. This is KC9VKV QSO VLogNet, sir.
This is KC9VKV QSO VLogNet, sir.
And there was another station in there, but gosh, I had a good copy on you, sir. What is your call sign?
I had a good copy on you, sir. What is your call sign? November 5, Yankee Alpha Victor. This is MC4L, but I have a very poor copy on you.
Well, gosh, that's not a very good way to start a QSO. Where are you located, sir?
A very good way to start a QSO. Where are you located, sir? I'm in Hollywood, Florida, near Miami.
Roger, Florida, Hollywood, down towards Miami. Well, gosh, we should be doing a 20 over down there. Our mantra is 20 over from Montreal to Miami. So what's the name down in Florida?
Montreal to Miami. What's the name down in Florida? I do not have a good copy. I have heavy static. Where are you located?
We're up towards Louisville, Kentucky. We're on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville. Roger?
On the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville. Roger? Okay, near Indiana. Okay, look, I just heard you talking. I thought I'd jump in, but it's not good condition. It's not good condition. I don't know 100% of what you're saying. 73 from Norway, Charlie 4 Love.
Roger, sir, 73, and maybe next Friday, if you get a chance to check in, maybe we'll have better propagation. You never know. Mother Nature sometimes is very nice. Not often, but sometimes. 73. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO VLogNet. We record live from 3:30 till 5, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
From 3:30 till 5, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. Victor Echo 3, X-Ray Bravo Oscar.
XBO, this is KC9VKV. Good afternoon. What's the name there?
This is KC9VKV. Good afternoon. What's the name there?
XBO, this is KC9VKV. Do you copy?
XBO, this is KC9VKV. Do you copy? Victor Echo 3, X-Ray Bravo Oscar.
X-Ray Bravo Oscar XBO. This is KC9VKV. Do you copy?
Oscar XBO. This is KC9VKV. Do you copy?
Roger, Jim. Yes, we're copying you 59, Roger.
Roger, I thought I might have been lost in the shuffle there for a minute, Roger.
Roger, I thought I might have been lost in the shuffle there for a minute, Roger.
Roger, yeah. A little QSB here on my end, but copying you, no problem.
Roger. Good audio. Nice curve there. Might be just a tad hot into your AOC, but not enough to dial it up and do anything about it, Roger.
Your AOC, but not enough to dial it up and do anything about it,
Roger. Well, I'm using an antique, not a very antique, early 80s rig. It's a Tentec 580 Delta stock microphone, running 85 watts right now, with a Tri-RV antenna. Is that Roger?
Roger. Well, you're giving Milford a 10 over their noise level, so you got a really good signal, Roger.
10 over their noise level, so you got a really good signal, Roger.
Okay, very good. It's been a while since I pulled this old radio out. This is my first time on the air in months with this radio, and it seems to be still working.
Roger. Now you're up towards Ontario, Roger?
Roger. Now you're up towards Ontario, Roger?
Roger. We're in Meaford, Ontario, 100 miles north of Toronto, Roger.
I got you. Good signal. Just a great signal there through the Milford PASDR. Like I say, you're about 10 over there, Roger.
Like I say, you're about 10 over there.
Roger. Unfortunately, there is really no adjustments on this radio in terms of audio transmit. So, it's unlike my 7300 with all kinds of compressors and treble and bass and etc. adjustments. This radio has none, Roger.
Roger. Pull back off mic about 1 inch or 2 inches. You can pull back 2 inches and let me hear you.
Back off mic of 1 inch or 2 inches. You can pull back 2 inches and let me hear you.
Okay, this is 2 inches out from the mic, Roger.
Roger, I think that's a little cleaner. I think words have to have dynamic range, and I think that you were maybe hot into your AOC, but I think if you pull back there, where you were that last transmission, I think, the words tend to not to blur, Roger.
I think, the words tend to not to blur, Roger.
Okay, very good. I'll make sure I do that for my next QSO, Roger.
Yes, sir. It's a lot easier to understand. Now, that is the trade-off. As we continue to try to get our audio fatter and fatter and fatter, it's it does wonders to a certain point. But after we transcend the 3 dB dynamic range area and start collapsing the audio down to 2 dB and 1 dB, what happens is that the words start to blur together. So, the whole idea is to try to get the words as clear as possible so people can understand what you're saying. So we get that fatness to help them hear what you're saying, but we can't get it too fat because then we start destroying the words that we're actually trying to communicate. So I think 3 dB dynamic range is probably a beautiful compromise there between fatness and intelligibility, Roger.
Compromise there between fatness and intelligibility, Roger.
100% on that, Jim. 100%.
Roger. So, and I think you're doing a great job. That last transmission, was just beautiful. So let me say 73 up that way, and you have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. And again, if you want to hear your audio, head to YouTube and do a call and a search for KC9VKV, followed by today's date, 7/23/21, and we'll be posting it within a couple of days. Roger.
And we'll be posting it within a couple of days, Roger.
Roger on that, Jim. Thank you very much. VE3XPO, clear.
Roger, Roger, 73, sir. Have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon KISSO-VLOC net. We've got about 5 minutes left before we turn into a pumpkin, so if you want to hear what your radio sounds like, give me a shout.
Into a pumpkin, so if you want to hear what your radio sounds like, give me a shout.
Well, gosh, either somebody had a lot of RF in their AF or was it delivered QAM? I'm not real sure there. But this is KC9VKV. Try again, sir.
This is KC9VKV. Try again, sir.
Charlie Alpha November. Come back with the call sign one more time, please.
Charlie Alpha November. Come back with the call sign one more time, please.
Kilo Alpha 4, Charlie Delta November. Kilo Alpha 4, Charlie Delta November.
Charlie Delta November, Roger, Roger. What's the name there, sir?
Charlie Delta November, Roger, Roger. What's the name there, sir?
The name here is Mike. Name is Mike, Indiana, Virginia, near Washington, D.C. Virginia, near Washington, D.C. Over.
Roger, Mike, and what radio are you running, sir?
Roger, Mike, and what radio are you running, sir?
A homebrew, 40-meter single sideband, over.
Roger, Roger, Mike on the homebrew. It sounds like you might have just a little RF in the AF. I'm not real sure, but you could have a little RF in your audio. Go back and give me 10 seconds or so and tell me about your antenna system so that I can listen to your audio.
And tell me about your antenna system so that I can listen to your audio.
Roger, Roger. My antenna is a dipole, 40-meter resonant dipole, and a 50 feet resonant dipole, 50 feet up to 40. Over.
Roger. Like I say, it sounds like you might have a little RF in your audio. The deal is you find out if that's true or not. If you can increase your audio gain 10 dB from where you are, and still sound relatively clean, then you're okay. I think, though, you may be marginal, and if you increase your audio gain, I think you would start to squeal. So I do believe that you do have RF in your audio, Roger.
That you do have RF in your audio, Roger.
Roger, thank you. I appreciate that feedback. Thank you very much. And that's what I was looking for. So thank you for your feedback. Have a great weekend. This is Kilo Alpha 4, Charlie Delta, November, QA.
Roger, Mike. Well, you know, I'm saying that, and it could be a million different things, but I was telling, Rob, I think earlier about using a old CB field strength meter to look for RF hotspots. So if you happen to have one of those old CB standing wave bridges that have a field strength meter built into it, put that little antenna on it and turn that gain up a little bit and go sniffing around your radio and see if you have any RF hotspots and then where they're coming from and how to get rid of them, Roger.
RF hotspots and then where they're coming from and how to get rid of them, Roger.
Roger. Okay, I appreciate all that. I'm on the big rig now, so probably came up a little bit. Over.
Yes, sir. A lot better audio. Yeah, much better articulation on that mic EQ, and your dynamic range seems to be right on target, Roger.
EQ and your dynamic range seems to be right on target, Roger.
Roger, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, that little QRP rig, I just got it on the air. It's about 4 watts out. So total homebrew. So thanks for that feedback. I really do appreciate that. have yourself a great weekend. This is KA4CDN.
Roger, Roger, Mike. Well, you can't be a stranger now about telling people that's QRP. You know, it makes a difference, bud. You know, copying the mail on 4 watts versus 100 watts, homebrew. You know, all that makes a difference. So don't keep it a secret when you're doing that, Roger.
All that makes a difference. So don't keep it a secret when you're doing that, Roger.
Roger. Yeah, I got to get used to that. So it's a new experience for me. It's definitely a challenge, as I'm sure you're aware there. So again, 73, and I really do appreciate the feedback there, sir. Over.
Roger, Roger, Mike. Well, you know, I congratulate your challenge to be QRP on a day like today with propagation being like it is. It's kind of like, I don't know, whistling in the wind, or there's an expression, but anyway, good going, buddy. All right, we got to get out of here. It is 2 minutes past 5. We've been pumpkin for 2 minutes, so we got to get out of here. I appreciate everybody's participation, and if you would like to hear what your radio sounds like again, if you go to YouTube and do that, call it a search for KC9VKV, followed by today's date, 7/23/21. It will take you directly to this recording. Give us a couple of days to get it uploaded. And so with that, we'll conclude our broadcast for today. We've enjoyed it, and so we will now be returning the frequency back to normal amateur radio use. This is KC9VKV Clear.